Hey everybody, what's going on? In this video, I'm gonna try something I haven't yet, and I'm just gonna call it Imagine in a game, and just my random ass thoughts about my own wild ass imagination about how video games could be, and but it would take a lot of work, everything like that. There is a reason why we're not getting things like this, but for many reasons. But anyway, the other day I was thinking about Grand Theft Auto 5 and what they could do with that, since they always come out with downloadable content. It's kind of cool. You get a monster truck here or, whatever. Different game modes, you could change things up. But I was thinking to myself, what would be something great, like a grand finale or something? Something to go out with a bang, say at the end of the GTA 5 run. And I was thinking, why not make, well, essentially Transformers, but since it's a driving game, wouldn't it make sense to have the cars actually turn into like mechs? Then you could do it easily in the game, I'm pretty sure. Of course, the coding, it would take some time for the company to do it, but they could do it. They may run into some copyright issues, I'm sure, but they could get away with it. It's fucking Rockstar. Also, kind of like Titanfall, maybe, in a way. But the way I foresee it is that if you could get a car, a certain set of cars, or, however they would do it, I mean, personally, I would have it completely full blown, like, say, every car in the game, but you had to work up to it. But otherwise, even if they had a single one, have it maybe while you're driving down the road, high speed, yeah, you could transform and have its own animation of transforming into it while you're inside of it, and then turn into a mech, have some cool animation, and then you'd be running down the road. Or also, you could be outside of it instead of, you could hit a certain button or sequence of buttons and it transform in front of you and pick you up like Titanfall, or you climb into it. And then it could also work with other things, not just cars, but like say a motorcycle would turn into a exoskeleton, or a jet like a Starscream, or a helicopter like some of the other Transformers. You know what I mean? But then it would open up a whole new way for people to do different things. Like say if you had a helicopter and you had a buddy that didn't have one, say you had like a semi or whatever, so he'd transform into it, and then you'd pick him up with a transport helicopter, and then you could both fly into where you wanted to go. You would drop him, and then you would, as the helicopter transformed, so you had two mech, shit like that. Just it would seem cool. It'd be cool in a movie. Why not in a game? And then this is like say the weapons. If you could either pre-select them or select the weapons while you're in it, kind of like you do normally while you're on foot. And then the weapons would say have modifiers to them to make them fit the mech. Like for instance, say the sniper rifle, make it a slow firing like cannon, but make it like a rail gun, so it almost instantaneously hits its target, kind of like how it does right now. But something upgraded, something where you could blast a small car off the road. Or the Gatling gun, say it didn't have the movement degradation that you do in the game, or also multiple barrel assemblies instead of just, since the Gatling gun already has what, 6, 8, depending, some even have 3, but have several assemblies of barrels, so it could shoot like 3 streams of bullets. A grenade launcher, maybe cluster shot. A baseball bat would just be a huge baseball bat. A gas can would be an oversized gas tanker, and you like tear the top off and start pouring the gas out. Or a grenade would be like a propane tank, or whatever. It would be a neat idea. Even if they didn't do it well, it would still be a hell of a lot of fun. I'm sure there would be a hell of a lot of limits, but if there wasn't, that would be really fucking cool to go into, like, say, a contact mission, and then everybody rolls up in their mechs, and then they all turn into mechs, and be able to do the mission as you normally would have, but then now you got this overpowered mech, and then you're able to just, like, run through the enemies, or, do whatever. You just put a whole new light on the same thing that you already know and love. But it would be cool to throw cars, say if you could pick up smaller cars, or, depending on what kind, like say if you had a semi, it would be able to throw cars, or a motorcycle, you'd be able to throw other motorcycles or people and shit. Like say if you threw a bystander at a mech, if you're like fighting against another one, it would like block his view and shit. But they could even do one of each car class. Like say if you got a Bugatti Veyron, it would be really nimble while it was a mech, but then it wouldn't be very armored. Semi would of course be slow but heavily armored. Motorcycle would be extreme mobility, but then not really. It's more of a mobility boost for the human that's inside of it, not really anything else. Maybe upgraded weapons. I foresee something like this happening eventually, but if they had it like even a single mech, some type of badass car that took a lot to get, you know what I mean? How some things cost a lot of goddamn money. That's something you couldn't buy. Maybe you had to piece it together, and then eventually you get it. You had to go through a bunch of steps or whatever, you know what I mean? Grind it out, and then, there wouldn't be a shitload of people all running around with it. Like, you see somebody with it initially before it came out, and you'd be like, wow, look at that shit. But I think that would be pretty goddamn cool because, playing the game, of course, but that would be great, if there's a mech and you're driving a supercar and then you're driving around its feet and it's trying to kill you and you take off, it's chasing you down, then it turns into a car and chases you down. Or whatever, or even if that'd be cool if it could climb a building, kind of like the old Rampage shit, where you pick up a car, climb a building, and throw it at people like King Kong, or you're trying to swat off helicopters and shit. But I think it would be a great addition. I highly doubt it would ever happen. If it ever did, Rockstar would be the coolest goddamn company ever if they just totally took a left field swing at that. But maybe if this video gets out and everybody fucking loves it, the idea, then maybe they'll start being like, that is a good idea. Maybe we could, have a small team of people make one car and then maybe expand on it. But it would be cool to actually, if you could customize it enough where you could make like a Robotech looking character, where you could customize the paint and the way certain things look. So you could have something that kind of looks like maybe Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, whatever. The samurai that they had in the last, the fourth Transformers. I think that would be a great addition. Something that, I thought of in my imagination. I highly doubt it'll ever happen, but if it ever did, that would be cool. And, it's fun toying around with ideas like that. And otherwise, well, that's just, essentially this is my first video on this, because I have a lot of great ideas about different things that they could do with games. And I wanted to just, get my ideas out there and see if anybody liked it, really. And, if you don't, then who knows, maybe I won't make as many as these. But otherwise, if you do like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up or whatever, comment, say whatever you feel about it. Maybe if you have good ideas about the same thing that I'm talking about, or, other videos that maybe I could make, or have my own ideas that, if you want me to put my own 2 cents in. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, and you've been watching Dread's Escape. Make sure to subscribe if you like anything that I already have on my channel, or you're looking forward to anything I'm going to be putting up, which will be a lot. So make sure to check it all out. And oh, the footage is just stock footage from previous videos that I did, because I wanted to put together this video rather quickly, before I lost ideas, started thinking about other things. But yeah, these are from previous videos. I took out the sound and everything so the voice comes in good. So anyway, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.